The state of Libya is a little bit smaller than Sudan. There's a population density of 11.7 people per square mile, or 4.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Suriname. 8.8% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 0.1% is made up of forests. More than 90% is desert. It has a median age of 25.8 years. It's also a life expectancy of 79.5 years for females, and 74.9 years for males. 80.1% of the country's population is urban, and 19.9% is rural. Libya has a GNI per capita of $4,850. The Principality of Liechtenstein is a bit smaller than the Marshall Islands. It has a population density of 637.1 people per square mile, or 246.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Nigeria. 37.6% of the country is used for agriculture. The official religion is Roman Catholicism, which makes up 73.4% of the population. It has a median age of 43.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.8 years for males, and 84.9 years for females. 85.7% of the nation is rural, and 14.3% is urban. Liechtenstein has a GNI per capita of $186,795. The Republic of Lithuania is a little bit bigger than the state of West Virginia. It has a population density of 109.3 people per square mile, or 42.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Mozambique. 44.8% of its land is agricultural, and 34.6% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 44.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.9 years for females, and 69.6 years for males. 67.4% of the country's population is urban, and 32.6% is rural. Lithuania has a GNI per capita of $19,000. The Grand Duchy of Luxembourg is about half as big as the state of Delaware. It has a population density of 663 people per square mile, or 255.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Jamaica. 50.7% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 33.5% is made up of forests. Luxembourgish is the national language, and Christianity is the most common religion, which is followed by 70.6% of the population. It has a median age of 39.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 80.3 years for males, and 84.8 years for females. 91% of the country is urban, and 9% is rural. Luxembourg has a GNI per capita of $81,110. The Republic of Madagascar is a little bit less than twice as big as the state of Arizona. It has a population density of 130.8 people per square mile, or 50.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Fiji. 71.1% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 21.5% is made up of forests. Malagasy and English are the official languages of the nation, and Christianity is the most common religion, which is followed by 74.4% of the population. It has a median age of 20.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 69.6 years for females, and 66.8 years for males. 62.8% of the country is rural, and 37.2% is urban. Madagascar has a GNI per capita of $480. The Republic of Malawi is a little bit smaller than the state of Pennsylvania. It has a population density of 440.2 people per square mile, or 169.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Switzerland. 34% of the nation's land is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 77.3% of the population. It has a median age of 16.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.4 years for males, and 67.9 years for females. 83.1% of the country is rural, and 16.9% is urban. Malawi has a GNI per capita of $580. Malaysia is a little bit bigger than the state of New Mexico. It has a population density of 258.6 people per square mile, or 99.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Moldova. 62% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 23.2% is used for agriculture. Malay is the official language of the country. It has a median age of 29.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 75.8 years for females, and 71.3 years for males. 76% of the population is urban, and 24% is rural. Malaysia has a GNI per capita of $10,580. The Republic of Maldives is a little bit bigger than St. Kitts and Nevis. It has a population density of 3,982 people per square mile, or 1,537 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Malta. 23.3% of the country is used for agriculture, and 3% is made up of forests. The official religion of the nation is Islam. It has a median age of 29.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.9 years for males, and 87 years for females. 60.2% of the population is rural, and 39.8% is urban. The Maldives has a GNI per capita of $6,830. The Republic of Mali is a little under twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 46.6 people per square mile, or 18 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Algeria. 34.1% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 10.2% is made up of forests. The nation is landlocked. It has a median age of 16 years, as well as a life expectancy of 64.7 years for females, and 60.2 years for males. 57.6% of the nation is rural, and 42.4% is urban. Mali has a GNI per capita of $830. The Republic of Malta is almost twice as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 4,411 people per square mile, or 1,703 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Maldives. 32.3% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 0.9% is made up of forests. Only the three largest islands in the country are populated. It has a median age of 42.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 83 years for males, and 84.6 years for females. 94.6% of the nation is urban, and 5.4% is rural. Malta has a GNI per capita of $25,370. The Republic of the Marshall Islands is about as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 585.7 people per square mile, or 226.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Switzerland. 50.7% of its land is used for agriculture, and 49.3% is made up of forestry. The most common religion is Protestant Christianity, which is followed by 80.5% of the nation. It is a median age of 23.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77 years for females, and 72.4 years for males. 77% of the country is urban, and 23% is rural. The Marshall Islands have a GNI per capita of $5,010. The Islamic Republic of Mauritania is a bit bigger than Egypt. It has a population density of 11 people per square mile, or 4.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Botswana. 38.5% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 0.2% is made up of forests. Arabic is the official language of the country, and Islam is the official religion. It is a median age of 21 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.8 years for males, and 67.8 years for females. 53.7% of the country's population is urban, and 46.3% is rural. Mauritania has a GNI per capita of $1,640. The Republic of Mauritius is a bit smaller than Comoros. It has a population density of 1,593.5 people per square mile, or 615.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Nauru. 43.8% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 17.3% is made up of forests. English is the official language, though it is spoken by less than 1% of the country. It is a median age of 36.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.3 years for females, and 70.4 years for males. 59.6% of the population is rural, and 40.4% is urban. Mauritius has a GNI per capita of $10,230. The United Mexican States is a bit bigger than Indonesia. It has a population density of 172.7 people per square mile, or 66.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Yemen. 54.9% of the land is used for agriculture, and 33.3% is made up of forestry. The most common language is Spanish, which is spoken by 93.8% of the population. It has a median age of 29.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72.6 years for males, and 78.4 years for females. 8.2% of the country is urban, and 19.8% is rural. Mexico has a GNI per capita of $9,380. The Federated States of Micronesia is a bit bigger than St. Lucia. It has a population density of 388.2 people per square mile, or 150.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Kiribati. 74.5% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 25.5% is used for agriculture. It's made up of 607 different islands. It has a median age of 26.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 76.7 years for females, and 72.3 years for males. 77.3% of the country's population is rural, and 22.7% is urban. Micronesia has a GNI per capita of $4,010. The Republic of Moldova is bigger than Belgium. It has a population density of 196.4 people per square mile, or 75.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Malaysia. 74.9% of the nation is agricultural, and 11.9% is forestry. Romanian is the official language of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 92.7% of the population. It is a median age of 37.7 years, as well as life expectancy of 65.2 years for males, and 73 years for females. 57.1% of the country is rural, and 42.9% is urban. Moldova has a GNI per capita of $4,570. The Principality of Monaco is about 3 times as big as the National Mall in Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 50,500 people per square mile, or 19,238 people per square kilometer, and is the world's smallest country which has a coast. While Monaco is not part of the European Union, it uses the euro for a currency. It has a median age of 55.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 88.7 years for females, and 84.9 years for males. As it is a city-state, all of the population is urban. Monaco has a GNI per capita of $192,848. Mongolia is a little bit smaller than the state of Alaska. It has a population density of 5.8 people per square mile, or 2.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Namibia. 73% of its land is used for agriculture, and 7% is made up of forestry. The country is landlocked. It has a median age of 29.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 67.1 years for males, and 76.5 years for females. 68.4% of the country's population is urban, and 31.6% is rural. Mongolia has a GNI per capita of $3,670. Montenegro is a little bit more than twice as big as the state of Delaware. It has a population density of 114.4 people per square mile, or 44.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Belarus. 40.4% of the nation is made up of forests, and 38.2% is used for agriculture. Montenegrin is the official language, which is spoken by 37% of the country, and the most common religion is Orthodox Christianity, which is followed by 72.1% of the population. It has a median age of 39.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77 years for females, and 70.8 years for males. 66.8% of the country is urban, and 33.2% is rural. Montenegro has a GNI per capita of $7,900. The Kingdom of Morocco is a little bit more than twice as big as the state of California. It has a population density of 230.3 people per square mile, or 88.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Burkina Faso. 67.5% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 11.5% is made up of forests. The official religion of the country is Islam, which is followed by 99% of the country. It has a median age of 29.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72 years for males, and 75.5 years for females. 62.5% of the nation is urban, and 37.5% is rural. Morocco has a GNI per capita of $2,980. The Republic of Mozambique is a bit more than 5 times as big as the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 105 people per square mile, or 40.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Zimbabwe. 56.3% of the land is used for agriculture, and 43.7% is made up of forests. The official language of the nation is Portuguese, which is spoken by 16.6% of the population. It has a median age of 17 years, as well as life expectancy of 58.7 years for females, and 52.9 years for males. 64% of the country's population is rural, and 36% 86.6% is urban. Mozambique has a GNI per capita of $460. The Republic of the Union of Myanmar is a little bit smaller than the state of Texas. It has a population density of 216 people per square mile, or 83.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Morocco. 48.2% of the nation is made up of forests, and 19.2% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Buddhism, which is followed by 87.9% of the country's population. It has a median age of 29.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.5 years for males, and 71.5 years for females. 71.2% of the population is rural, and 28.8% is urban. Myanmar has a GNI per capita of $1,260. The Republic of Namibia is about half as big as the state of Alaska. It has a population density of 8.3 people per square mile, or 3.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Australia. 47.2% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 8.8% is made up of forestry. It is a hot and dry desert climate. English is the official language, which is spoken by 2.3% of the population, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 97.5% of the nation. It has a median age of 21.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 68.5 years for females, and 64.5 years for males. 50% of the country's population is urban, and 50% is rural. Namibia has a GNI per capita of $4,520. The Republic of Nauru is a little bit smaller than Tuvalu. It has a population density of 1,777.8 people per square mile, or 682.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Mauritius. 20% of the country is used for agriculture. Most of the population is on the coast. The national language is Nauruan, which is spoken by 93% of the country, and Protestant Christianity is the most common religion, which is followed by 60.4% of the population. It has a median age of 27 years, as well as life expectancy of 57 years for males, and 64.5 years for females. 100% of the nation is urban. Nauru has a GNI per capita of $16,630. Nepal is a little bit smaller than Bangladesh. It has a population density of 521.6 people per square mile, or 201.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to North Korea. 28.8% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 25.4% is made up of forests. Nepali is the official language, which is spoken by 44.6% of the nation, and the most common religion is Hinduism, which makes up 81.3% of the population. It has a median age of 25.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 73.2 years for females, and 71.7 years for males. 80.3% of the country is rural, and 19.7% is urban. Nepal has a GNI per capita of $1,190. The Kingdom of the Netherlands is a little bit under half the size of the state of New Jersey. It has a population density of 1,120.6 people per square mile, or 432.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Lebanon. 55.1% of the land is used for agriculture, and 10.8% is made up of forestry. It has a median age of 42.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.7 years for males, and 83 years for females. 91.5% of the country's population is urban, and 8.5% is rural. The Netherlands have a GNI per capita of $53,010. New Zealand is around twice as big as the state of North Carolina. It has a population density of 50 people per square mile, or 19.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Uruguay. 43.2% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 31.4% is made up of forests. The most common language is English, which is spoken by 95.4% of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 37.3% of the population. It has a median age of 37.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 83.5 years for females, and 80 years for males. 86.5% of the nation is urban, and 13.5% is rural. New Zealand has a GNI per capita of $42,610. The Republic of Nicaragua is a little bit smaller than the state of New York. It has a population density of 135.2 people per square mile, or 52.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Guinea. 42.2% of the nation's land is agricultural, and 25.3% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 83.2% of the population, and Spanish is the official language, which is spoken by 95.3% of the country. It has a median age of 27.3 years. 58.5% of the nation's population is urban, and 41.5% is rural. Nicaragua has a GNI per capita of $1,850. The Republic of Niger is about twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 51.8 people per square mile, or 20 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Bhutan. 1% of the country's land is made up of forestry, and most is desert. Niger is one of the world's hottest countries. French is the official language of the nation. It has a median age of 14.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 61.7 years for females, and 58.6 years for males. 83.7% of the population is rural, and 16.3% is urban. Niger has a GNI per capita of $540. The Federal Republic of Nigeria is around twice as big as the state of California. It has a population density of 623.8 people per square mile, or 240.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Liechtenstein. 78% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 9.5% is made up of forests. English is the official language of the nation. It has a median age of 18.6 years, as well as life expectancy of 59.5 years for males, and 63.3 years for females. 50.3% of the country's population is urban, and 49.7% is rural. Nigeria has a GNI per capita of $2,000. The Republic of North Macedonia is a little bit bigger than the state of Vermont. It has a population density of 185.3 people per square mile, or 71.6 people per square kilometer. kilometer, which is similar to Serbia. 44.3% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 39.8% is made up of forests. The country is landlocked. It has a median age of 39 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.1 years for females, and 74.7 years for males. 57.1% of the country's population is urban, and 42.9% is rural. North Macedonia has a GNI per capita of $5,720. The Kingdom of Norway is around twice as big as the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 37.2 people per square mile, or 14.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Oman. 27.8% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 2.2% is used for agriculture. Norwegian and Sami are official languages in the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 74.4% of the population. It has a median age of 39.5 years, as well as life expectancy of 81.6 years for males, and 84.7 years for females. 82.4% of the nation is urban, and 17.6% is rural. Norway has a GNI per capita of $78,250. The Sultanate of Oman is about twice as big as the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 43.1 people per square mile, or 16.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Norway. 4.7% of the land is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Islam, which makes up 85.9% of the population, and the official language is Arabic. It has a median age of 26.2 years, as well as life expectancy of 78.9 years for females, and 75 years for males. 84.5% of the country's population is urban, and 15.5% is rural. Oman has a GNI per capita of $14,150. The Islamic Republic of Pakistan is about twice as big as the state of California. It has a population density of 757 people per square mile, or 292.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Vietnam. 35.2% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 2.1% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 22 years, as well as life expectancy of 64.5 years for males, and 65.5 years for females. 63.6% of the nation's population is rural, and 36.4% is urban. Pakistan has a GNI per capita of $1,280. The Republic of Palau is a little bit bigger than Seychelles. It has a population density of 490 people per square mile, or 189 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Bahamas. 87.6% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 10.8% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 81.7% of the country's population. It has a median age of 33.9 years, as well as life expectancy of 78 years for females, and 71.5 years for males. 78.7% of the population is urban, and 21.3% is rural. Palau has a GNI per capita of $16,500. The Republic of Panama is a little bit smaller than the state of South Carolina. It has a population density of 153.4 people per square mile, or 59.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Nicaragua. 43.6% of the land is made up of forestry, and 30.5% is agricultural. Spanish is the official language of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 78.8% of the nation's population. It has a median age of 30.1 years, as well as life expectancy of 75.6 years for males, and 81.6 years for females. 67.7% of the population is urban, and 32.3% is rural. Panama has a GNI per capita of $11,880. The independent state of Papua New Guinea is a little bit bigger than the state of California. It has a population density of 53.3 people per square mile, or 20.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Niger. 63.1% of the land is made up of forests, and 2.6% is used for agriculture. The country is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire and shares the island of New Guinea with Indonesia. It has a median age of 24 years, as well as life expectancy of 71.2 years for females, and 67.8 years for males. 86.8% of the nation is rural, and 13.2% is urban. Papua New Guinea has a GNI per capita of $2,660. The Republic of Paraguay is a little bit bigger than Zimbabwe. It has a population density of 48.1 people per square mile, or 18.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Saudi Arabia. 53.8% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 43.8% is made up of forests. Spanish and Guarani are official languages of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 96.9% of the population. It has a median age of 29.7 years, as well as life expectancy of 72.2 years for males, and 78.1 years for females. 61.7% of the nation is urban, and 38.3% is rural. Paraguay has a GNI per capita of $5,140. The Republic of Peru is about twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 68 people per square mile, or 26.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Vanuatu. 53% of its land is made up of forests, and 18.8% is used for agriculture. Spanish is the most common language, which is spoken by 82.9% of the population. About a third of the country's population lives along the coast. It has a median age of 29.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.8 years for females, and 74.5 years for males. 79.3% of the nation is urban, and 20.7% is rural. Peru has a GNI per capita of $6,010. The Republic of the Philippines is a little bit smaller than Italy. It has a population density of 1,005.3 people per square mile, or 388.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Belgium. 41% of the land is used for agriculture, and 25.9% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 85.6% of the population, and the official languages in the nation are Filipino and English. It has a median age of 24.1 years, as well as life expectancy of 71.3 years for males, and 77.5 years for females. 53.1% of the population is rural, and 46.9% is urban. The Philippines has a GNI per capita of $3,430. The Republic of Poland is a little bit smaller than the state of New Mexico. It has a population density of 311.8 people per square mile, or 120.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the UAE. 48.2% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 30.6% is made up of forestry. Polish is the most common language, which is spoken by 96.9% of the population. It has a median age of 41.9 years, as well as life expectancy of 79.7 years for females, and 71.6 years for males. 60% of the country is urban, and 40% is rural. Poland has a GNI per capita of $15,270. The Portuguese Republic is a little bit smaller than Virginia. It has a population density of 289.1 people per square mile, or 111.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Ethiopia. 39.7% of the country is used for agriculture. 37.8% is made up of forestry. Portuguese is official of the nation, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 84.4% of the country. It has a median age of 44.6 years, as well as life expectancy of 79 years for males, and 85 years for females. 56.7% of the population is rural, and 43.3% is urban. Portugal has a GNI per capita of $22,000. The state of Qatar is a little bit smaller than Connecticut. It has a population density of 715.1 people per square mile, or 276.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Dominican Republic. 5.6% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and most of the population is near Doha, the capital. It has a median age of 33.7 years, as well as life expectancy of 82 years for females, and 77.7 years for males. 99.1% of the nation is urban, and 0.9% is rural. Qatar has a GNI per capita of $56,210. Romania is about twice as big as the state of Pennsylvania. It has a population density of 204.5 people per square mile, or 78.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Brunei. 60.7% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. 28.7% is made up of forests. Romanian is the official language, which is spoken by 91.6% of the country's population. It has a median age of 42.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72.3 years for males, and 79.7 years for females. 53.9% of the population is urban, and 46.1% is rural. Romania has a GNI per capita of $12,570. The Russian Federation is almost twice as big as the United States. It has a population density of 22 people per square mile, or 8.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Central African Republic. 49.4% of its land is made up of forestry, and 13.1% is used for agriculture. Russian is the official language, which is spoken by 85.7% of the country's population. It has a median age of 40.3 years, as well as life expectancy of 78.3 years for females, and 66.9 years for males. 74% of the nation is urban, and 26% is rural. Russia has a GNI per capita of $11,600. The Republic of Rwanda is a little bit smaller than the state of Maryland. It has a population density of 1,424.1 people per square mile, or 549.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to San Marino. 18% of the country's land is made up of forests. Rwanda, French, English, and Swahili are official languages of the nation, and the most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 95.9% of the population. It has a median age of 19.7 years, as well as life expectancy of 66.5 years for males, and 70.5 years for females. 65% of the country is rural. 35% is urban. Rwanda has a GNI per capita of $780. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is a bit smaller than Malta. It has a population density of 473.5 people per square mile, or 183.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Andorra. 42.3% of the land is made up of forests, and 23.1% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 82.9% of the population. It has a median age of 36.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.6 years for females, and 74.6 years for males. 69.2% of the nation is rural, and 30.8% is urban. St. Kitts and Nevis has a GNI per capita of $17,400. St. Lucia is a little bit smaller than the Federated States of Micronesia. It has a population density of 778.2 people per square mile, or 300.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Trinidad and Tobago. 77% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 17.4% is used for agriculture. It has a median age of 36.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 76.2 years for males, and 81.8 years for females. 81.3% of the population of the country is rural, and 18.7% is urban. St. Lucia has a GNI per capita of $8,790. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is about twice as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 743.3 people per square mile, or 286.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Jamaica. 68.7% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 25.6% is agricultural. English is the official language of the country. It has a median age of 35.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.8 years for females, and 74.6 years for males. 52.2% of the population is urban, and 47.8% is rural. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has a GNI per capita of $7,340. The independent state of Samoa is a bit bigger than Luxembourg. It has a population density of 184.3 people per square mile, or 71.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Greece. 60.4% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 12.4% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 97% of the country's population. It has a median age of 25.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72.3 years for males, and 78.3 years for females. 81.3% of the nation is rural, and 18.7% is urban. Samoa has a GNI per capita of $4,070. The Republic of San Marino is a little bit more than twice as big as Tuvalu. It has a population density of 1,412.5 people per square mile, or 555.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Rwanda. 16.7% of the country is used for agriculture, and Italian is the official language of the nation. It has a median age of 45.2 years, as well as life expectancy of 86.8 years for females, and 83.1 years for males. 97.2% of the country's population is urban. carbon, and 2.8% as rubble. San Marino has a GNI per capita of $40,632.